All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is your Realtor Hugo here with another live. Thank you so much for tuning in. Give me 1 second. Let me get these guys going. And we'll get on the road. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is your Realtor Hugo here with another live. This one is not the Daily Real Estate Live, so if you're looking for the Daily Real Estate Live, scroll up for the next one. That's actually the Daily Real Estate Live. This one is a live for the guys. Today, we're going to be talking about how a man knows they have found their life partner. Why? Why are we talking about this, Hugo? What's going on? Well, the reason your boy is a little bit late today is because I had a date. So, for no particular reason whatsoever, we are going to be discussing these things and seeing what some of the experts say as to why, or how, I should say, a man knows that they found their life partner. So, this is not an end all be all list. This is just merely a few of my musings of things that you maybe should think about when considering a life partner. It is something very personal and unique to everyone. What a partner means to you can be very different than what it means to me. So please take everything in the spirit of what the intention is of growth and positivity, and maybe helping someone find a way to get a little bit more clarity than they would otherwise. What I don't want is for this to be the reason that any of you split. Why? Because I think you should make your own decisions. I think more than anything else, the worst thing you can do in a relationship is trust the opinions of others more than the opinion of yourself. So, first and foremost, I will say don't embark on this journey of finding a life partner if you yourself are not ready to tackle the questions and the trials and tribulations that might come with you being with that life partner, because everyone wants to get married, everyone wants to have the happily ever after, but how many people are actually willing to put in the work, the effort, the consistency, the patience, the time to follow the relationship through? We know we can all name people that'd be more than willing to run away. What makes a person stay? So let's talk a little bit more in detail as to what a life partner means, at least to myself. And then maybe it can give you a little bit more of insight of what a life partner means to you. Because I'll be honest with you, I didn't come to these conclusions on my own. I came to these conclusions after much thought, much pondering, much to do about nothing. And truly, at the end of the day, I had to answer a few crucial questions for myself. And we'll talk about those questions towards the end. But for the purposes of this little discussion here, take this all in the spirit of what it's intended to educate and to maybe illuminate. Please don't take this as a crash course in your relationships, and everything will be fine. Number one, finding your life partner, signs you've met the one. It really comes down to, I personally think, that magic moment when you just either click or see or hear something that turns this stranger into a familiar. And I think at that point, you have really turned a corner with this person. So from there, you really have to get on the same page and start to discuss where it is that you see this endeavor going. Some people don't ever see futures in any of their relationships, and that's fine. That's probably a person you will not see a future with. But miscommunication, problems, immaturity can all be factors why something that's perfect for you can be lost. So, being aware of self before going into a relationship or trying to find a life partner is by far the most important thing, because how can you describe yourself and your love to someone else when you yourself cannot express love within? Remember, we are just reflections of everything around us. So if inside we are empty and lacking, we will always be outside looking for the things that we are empty and lacking in. If we live and breathe in a sense of prosperity and like everything is happening for us, for our best good, the tables turn. And meeting a life partner is no longer about this end all be all ordeal. It really becomes a matter of self exploration and you understanding where you're coming from and where you want to go. Number two, shared values and goals. Alignment in core values and life goals is a fundamental aspect of a long lasting relationship. You have to have the right foundation. And some people find it in Christ and God and religion, and they use religion as the cornerstone of their relationship, and that's fine. But you need to have a cornerstone. You need to have a pillar and a pinnacle of the innovation, of the effort. You need to be able to stand somewhere and be able to stand firm on what you believe in. And usually that's only accomplished when you and your partner share goals and vision. There are people that have no vision. There are people that only have vision. So as a couple, as a unit, you should be sharing, discussing, expressing these things to not only engage the potential partner, but also to better understand your own position in these matters. I've never felt more articulate or succinct than when I'm trying to describe something to someone else. It's just the nature of education. When you in yourself can teach it to someone, you are truly understanding the product. And that's sometimes all you need. Number three, mutual respect. Explain yourself and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid for what will happen. At the end of the day, this person is either going to be there or not. And you have to understand that there is no in between. The in between is what gets people in trouble. The gray area, the friends with benefits, all that gets people into trouble. Play for keeps or don't play at all. Don't waste people's time. Because at the end of the day, we're all looking for something more. And the minimum you could do for this person that has presented themselves to even begin dating the process or getting to know you is offering them respect. That's the bare minimum. So being mutually respectful of the relationship, of each other's boundaries, of their opinions and differences, of their friends. These are all things you have to keep in mind, because at the end of the day, if you lose respect, what do you have? And don't tell me that a relationship is X, Y, and Z. At the end of the day, if your relationship doesn't have respect, what do you have? For that, I have friends for that. I have friends that hate me well enough on their own. I don't need a life partner to hate me. You know what I mean? So, mutual respect, always. Number four, deep trust. Trust, especially with a life partner, is something you should always keep in high regard. Breaking trust, betraying trust. These are all things that should be questions paramount in your head. How would you feel if this person was gone because of what you did? That's how your mind should be thinking. What would the cost of this action be? Because at a certain point, you no longer can think on your own. Remember, you're not single anymore. You have to grow. You have to develop. You have to put on your big boy pants and get down the aisle. And again, this is not saying marriage is the only answer for anyone. What this is saying is basically, if you want to find your forever person, you have to start looking for your forever person. And the way to look for your forever person is becoming the forever person that they would have needed. It sounds crazy. It can't be that simple. But you'd be surprised how much a little bit of internal work, change, how much it can make your relationships flourish when you really are authentic to yourself. Don't hide. Don't hide from me. I could care less. Don't hide from yourself. Because if you hide from yourself, you're hiding from your partner. And then what do you have? Number 5, effortless communication. Ease of communication in a relationship is really a great way to feel heard and understand. Good communication within partners is essential. I'm very fortunate that communication has never been a problem for me. But how fulfilling some of these conversations have been, that's a whole nother matter. So communicate and express yourself. Don't be ashamed of your views or what you're expressing or how you go about handling these things. Sometimes people might want to make you feel like you are doing too much or like you're going over and above and beyond. I think we live in a society where people are numb and no one wants to do anything. So a little bit of effort looks like this monumentous spectacle just because we've been conditioned to not show these signs of affection. And truly, that's what this is are you able to communicate your needs, your wants, your desires to this person? If you can, great. You'll always have a great dialogue. You'll have things to share beyond the physical. But if you are just there and not absorbing in, not participating, not sharing, not letting the relationship inside, you don't. At that point, I really think you really can't communicate properly. At that point, I think you have bigger issues, because at that point, you really have to figure out why you're even in a relationship if you're gonna act single. At a certain point, you have to cut your losses. You either have to admit the fact that you want to do this forever or that you never want to do this again. And I hate to be that black and white about it, but you're playing with people's emotions. It's unacceptable. People got time, places, things to do. So don't waste people's time with your shenanigans. If you're not ready to date, don't date. It's okay. No one's asking you to. No one's forcing you to. There are 8 billion people out in the world. We don't need more of you. What we need is healthy, strong, resilient, consistent, trustworthy, loyal people that are out there living what they say. It's not that hard. But, more often than not, it's much easier to lie to yourself about anything than to stand up for what you believe in. And I could start a whole tirade about that. But for the intents and purposes of this communication, let's just keep it moving. Emotional connection. The depth of emotional connection, how you feel about this person, how they make you feel when you are around them. Are they safe? Do they make you feel comforted? Do they make you feel heard? Do they make you feel? You just know. I don't know about some of you, but for myself, I knew. I knew. And it was different. It was always different. It was always going to be different. So understanding the depth of your communication and the depth of your connection is, again, another thing you want to look at. If you are in it to win it and they are not, brother, that's where you really have to let love win and believe in love and have faith that it's going to work out. And be prepared if it doesn't. Because that's truly the gamble with all of this, is that it could all go very well or it could all go terribly. But you're going to be all the wiser for it. And hopefully for the next relationship, you'll be all the better for it. So understanding the emotional connection is, again, important, because you don't want to put yourself out there on a limb for someone that wouldn't even put a pinky out into the pool for you. Number 7, personal growth. Explain to your partner what really matters to you. What are the things that encourage your personal growth, and try to find common ground in those things. Support each other. Follow up with each other. Check in on their hobbies and remind them of the hobbies that they might have forgotten, because we all have lives, we all have stresses, we all have things going on. Sometimes your partner needs a little helping hand to remind them, hey, it's not that serious. You only have one life. Go make a puzzle. There's no point in you stressing out on a Sunday evening. Go make a puzzle or something. I don't know. At this point, you gotta find what makes you come alive. Because no successful relationship can survive off of only one person progressing. Both individuals have to push forward. Both individuals have to move the needle forward. Both individuals have to be a unit. I've never seen a successful couple where one's doing one thing and the other one's doing another thing and they're not communicating. At that point, that's rough. So, I hope no one's going through that. And I hope you do have these personal touches and communications, because as you can see, it becomes so much more about other things than just the physical at a certain point, especially when you're talking about a life partner. You don't want the one night stand as your life partner. You want the person that's going to be there through and through, for better or for worse, through sickness and in health. Number 8, physical and emotional attraction. We all know a relationship cannot survive off of love alone. So there's obviously some physical and emotional attraction that can happen over time. Make sure that you're separating the facts from the fiction. You may be very physically attracted to someone and they still will not be the person for you. Do not get swayed by looks alone. Vet, 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 vet. Make sure you're asking questions. Make sure you're identifying patterns. Make sure you're speaking up and standing up for yourself in the relationship. And make sure you are, how do I say this? Taking charge of the situation. If you're not taking charge of any situation, you are being taken charge of. So make sure that you are aware of your attractions to this person. Know that they can influence you because of these attractions, and determine if the relationship is an infatuation, a limerence, or something more substantial, like an actual relationship, a true love. We're all entitled to it, but how much are we really willing to do for it? I don't know. You have to ask yourself that. Number 9, acceptance of imperfections. Life partners accept each other's flaws and imperfections and understand that no one is perfect. I have made tons of mistakes. I'm sure my life partner has made mistakes as well. It happens. You live, you learn, you develop, and you grow. Because over time, what you'll see is that you'll learn the things that you can and cannot tolerate. And you'll form boundaries around these things. So as long as those boundaries are being met and everything is on the up and up in that regard, it's a lot of people will sweep a lot of issues under the rug, which isn't normally the healthiest thing to do. So accept the fact that no one's perfect. Accept that stuff is going to happen. You're not going to be able to work it all out all of the time. But your willingness to make it work, your predisposition to stand up and fight, your ingrained mentality to do this will always come back to help you out. So don't stress the small stuff. At the end of the day, where there's a will, there's a way. Just don't hold yourself to perfection because no one is perfect. Number 10, life partners. Oh, shared joy and challenges. Life partners share joy in good times and support each other in challenges. It's okay to share with your partner. Your partner should be probably the only person that knows the majority of stuff about you. And, I have my own theories about why it shouldn't be all, but hey, at the end of the day, share your wins and successes with this person. See how they respond. You'll see if someone's there for you or not very quickly. I tell all my friends and colleagues, you can lie to somebody 90 days. Within 90 days, most people's masks wear off just because it's human nature. After 90 days, you can't help but get comfortable. So if this person's been lying to you, if this person's been not on the up and up, you set up an appointment like that, I'm sure you'll get your answer. Number 10. Actually, no, that was number 10 was shared joy and challenges. So in essence, that is the gist of what we got for today on how to know who your life partner is. It can take a lot of trial and error. Don't think that every person you come in contact with is your life partner. Will everyone know? Will you know when your life partner is there? I don't know, to be honest. I know for myself, I had an experience and I knew. But for someone like you, maybe you're not in tune with yourself like that. Maybe you're not there like that. And that's okay. Not everyone is there like that. You got to work with what you got. So find out what matters to you. Find out what feels right to you. And I always call it home because I work in real estate, but where is your home? Is it with you by yourself in your bachelor pad? Or is it with this person somewhere else, anywhere else? Signs like that are really the wonders and the miracles that make a person, a stranger, into a partner. So if you're just joining us today, we were talking about how a man knows that they have found their life partner. And these are in no particular order. They're just a few musings that I've come up with over time that talk a little bit about some of the questions that you have to have answered before you can really walk down the aisle. So we talked a little bit about life partners and what they are and how you kind of feel when you meet the one. Make sure that you're sharing values and goals with your partner so that you are both on the same page. Hold mutual respect for each other because respect is the cornerstone of any healthy relationship. Have deep trust in your partner. If you can't establish it with them, really, what are you playing at? Because your partner should know the majority of things that have to do with you. Number 5, effortless communication. When you have a lot of these other good rapport builders, like actually having trust and mutual respect, you can actually have effortless communication. It's not difficult to talk. Sometimes people get hung up about how they are going to be perceived talking, which could be its own issue. But at the end of the day, effortless communication is a common occurrence in some of these couples. Number 6, you have to have emotional connection because otherwise, why are you with this person? Number 7, personal growth. Even though you're both in a relationship, you should be growing individually as people and thus bringing each other better and building each other better every time you come back together. Number 8, physical and emotional transaction. You can never overlook the physical. So make sure that you are aware of who your partner is, what they look like, and don't expect change. We're not here to change your significant other. What we're here is to grow with them and evolve. Not change. No, change is for the weak when it comes to this case. What we want is consistency and loyalty. So, where are we? Number nine, acceptance of imperfections. Again, going back to loyalty and consistency, it's okay. Not everything is perfect. Nothing is perfect, actually. Let it go. Try as hard as you can and show up again the next day and try harder. That's all you can do. Number 10, share joys and challenges. Any healthy relationship will have a good give and take, a rapport where you can hide and you can also share and you can celebrate with your partner, because this world's very competitive out there. And to have someone in your corner supporting you, rooting you on, that shows that that person really does care. And if they can share in your joys without any greed or malice, then when the challenges come, they'll be more likely to stick around. You know, not guaranteed, but chances are they probably like you. So at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not sure if you guys can still see me or hear me, but give me 1 second and I'm almost back. I'm not sure if you guys still see me out there, but I think we're good. 1 second, 1 second. All right, guys. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. I just got a little power surge that happened here on in Rockville. So sorry about that. I don't know if you guys saw any of that or heard any of that, but basically, long story short, we are wrapping it up today. We were talking about how a man knows that they found their life partner and just some of the tips on that. I was actually almost towards the end of that discussion there. So, no harm, no foul. I hope that all of you did get the meat and potatoes of this little chat. But again, I do apologize for that little blackout that happened in the middle. Power just went out and we are now running on battery. So, um, If you have any questions, as always, ladies and gentlemen, feel free and reach out. I love talking about these other issues that we got going on because I feel like this type of stuff is the stuff that is the essence of life. You know, the bigger questions of where are we going to go? What are we going to do? What are we? And that's sometimes a very weighted question for a man to hear, but this is why it's so important. And this is why I'm kind of speaking out towards the men right now is get a hold of who you are. Figure out who you are so that you can really start pursuing the things that you want to pursue with conviction and drive. Don't be complacent anymore. If you want better and more, you're going to have to work smarter and harder. And relationships are no different. Relationships take work, they take dedication, they take time. Don't underestimate the fact that you can pick somebody up on Tinder and get that confused with finding a life partner. No, they're two different concepts. And until you mature enough to understand the difference between a Tinder date and your life partner, you're better off just staying to yourself because hurt people hurt people. And the last thing that we need in this world is more hurt people. So do therapy, take some time, talk to someone, counsel. But it's much better of an answer than you going out and lashing out and breaking hearts or destroying someone's life. Because some people don't bounce back like you do. Some people don't make it through these dark times. Some people don't make it past the heartbreak. And it's always devastating when the results are taken too far. So don't overthink the issue. This was strictly just a guideline, just us spitballing. But ask these questions. Start to have these conversations. I know they're scary. I know you might be able to you might lose this person. But if this person is lost because of the questions you asked, is that the type of person that you want to be with, anyways? A lot of the discussion today is just kind of because it really comes down to you. What do you want from your relationship? What do you want from your life? Take it there and then reverse engineer it back. And I bet you'll figure out how to get there. As always, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to hang out with you guys a little bit every day with the mental health lives or with the daily real estate lives. I really do appreciate it. And thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free and reach out to me on your favorite platform. My phone number, 240-389-4846. My email is hugo@lnf.com. And my website is yourrealtorhugo.com. Ladies and gentlemen, really appreciative of you all. Thank you for all the well wishes. And I'm very excited for some of you because I know that you're going on the right path. And for others, I can't wait until you see the light. I will catch you all tomorrow. Take care. Have a great night.